What is going on, everyone? My name's Boyd, and I'm back with some more Age Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the bottom of the map in the blue color, playing as Ra. His name is Zai, and he is better known as AOM King. His opponent today in the red color playing as Gaia. He's from the Love Clan, very old clan. His name is Zoekt. The map is Savannah, and we go in back in time. It's 2011. 2011, June 2011, I believe was the date. We're on no patch here, 1.03 in terms of the Ensemble Studios patches. And we got a Ra versus Gaia. This is unbuffed Ra back in the day. Zoekt was one of those few expert players who dabbled with Gaia in the past. Obviously a glutton for punishment because Gaia was definitely had a lot of difficulties in the old no patch, given how many terrible matchups she had. But we'll see what's going to happen in this game here. If you guys are not aware of who AOM King is, I do implore you to go and check out some of those games. I've got a couple of his games up on the channel. Just search them up. There's some really, really exciting vanilla games. King was probably the best Age Mythology player of the original game from around 2006 to around 2009 until Magyar came in and started showing him the business. And then that, in which case it was very close. Like 1 and 2, both of them were very, very evenly matched. I'm not trying to take anything away there, but Zai was the Smurf that he picked, or he climbed to the Titans on the top of the ladder on the Titans with. This was his name, and I believe he got to the top of the ladder on Ensemble Studios with some ridiculous win rate, like 95% or something in terms of his win rate, and he just got to the top and said Titans is easy, and then I believe he quit promptly after that. We've got this Scarab Benton over here, 100% Scarab, Behemoth, Portable, Heliopolis, and Siege Tower damage versus buildings. Super crazy good relic here. We've also got another relic over here, the Canopic Jar of Imset. Not the best, but it is a relic here. And we do see a classic maneuver here from Mr. Zoekt, predicting a villager rush. Not wanting to get villager rush, we got the Economic Guild going down onto the town center. We've got the Manor over onto the other side, and we've got the Gaia Forests either side here. A classic defense, and we've also got what looks to be a 4-minute advance time from Zoekt here. Maybe slightly delayed, I'm not sure. Well, I guess we'll see when it gets to... No, it's slightly delayed, so maybe like 4:10 or 4:05 or something like that. A bit of an interesting one. Obviously, there's some history here from Zai going for, or for King going for villager rushes here, because generally speaking, this level of defense against the villager rush wasn't seen much back in the day because people didn't do it. But with the 2,100 HP town centers, it's super viable. And now we're starting to see these villagers chopping down the wood. I'm going to get some stuff out. We've got villagers moving forward to eat the hunt in the front here. And we do have Hunting Dog's Hand Axe from Zoekt. So that'll be very interesting to see what he's going to be able to afford and what he's not going to be able to afford. He will be able to throw down an immediate military building or 2 here, but we'll see where he wants to throw them down. There's the counter barracks going up. Caladria coming out, going to be scouting out. We've already got the oracles here and here checking out the town center, and it is Oceanus here. People didn't go for Leto very often back in the day at all. I'm not 100% sure why that was, because the spider lair was still very, very good. It's just that the automatons were super, super weak. And I think everyone just kind of preferred to get the Caladra out for scouting. The Oceanus was really nice as well. We just see the Carnivora getting thrown down immediately here, going to take down the Sentry Towers. We see King still not advanced to the next age. He is farming in the Archaic age. This is This is what we have descended into here, ladies and gentlemen. Farms in the Archaic Age. We're going to see a rain coming through. This Caladria is going to take down the tower, take down these houses, potentially even take down the temple. There's the rain at 512 with 8 farms going on 9 farms. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you are coming back to learn how to play this game and you've just been recommended this video, I will say this is not what you're supposed to do with Ra. But this is what we're seeing here. This is funny because I do remember I used to do this build on Nilla. I used to do the Archaic farm rain, and I thought it was so great because I didn't have to move my screen at all. I could just leave my screen in this position the entire first 5-6 minutes, and you don't have to worry about anything. And it kind of just gets you to the classical age. You get a pretty decent heroic age, like 8 minutes in, but no resources when you get there. And as we've evolved and gotten better in the game, we've realized that you should get plow, you should get husbandry. I mean, he does have husbandry, but you should get plow and continue. But now Zoekt, he's got his units out. This Caladria not quite close enough to take the temple down. A little bit sad there, but Bast is on the way. We see a second temple coming up for King now. So he's obviously going to be going for some of those sphinxes here. He has the monuments to the villagers. He has the monument to the soldiers. He's got 50 favor in the bank. That is a lot of sphinx here. He's going double temple to start producing these here as these villagers are going to be retreating back. The problem for Zoekt is he's got no answer for speedy sphinx. He's gone double counter barracks. Making heroes with those Terma is always a nightmare. The actual answer to this back in 1.03 was to rush heroic age. As soon as you saw Bast coming through, we did see monument to the priest coming in. As soon as you see Bast coming through, rush heroic age, make Stymphalian birds, and then hover those Stymphalian birds over your villages. And just and then just defend that way. No reason to actually make any heroes at all here. But now we've got 4 Sphinx coming out. Do we have the upgrades? We've got Priest coming through now. This could be like Priest Sphinx with an Eclipse, like role-playing sort of like Isis Priest Siege with Ancestors Eclipse, but the Sphinx play the role of the Ancestors and the priests do everything else. No, he's just making a couple of priests. Obviously, they're a bit more expensive without Spirit of Mart. And he's going to be searching for some stuff. He does see some Terma here, so he's going to come in, snipe those for free. It looks like no, he's not paying attention. We see the double Terma is here. Let's see how fast 4 Sphinx kill off the Termas pretty quickly. And he's going to have to retreat back. He does have the Caladria. More Terma heroes getting created here. These Terma heroes are not the best at all. Now the Eclipse coming in, going to be sniping down these Terma heroes very, very quickly. Here we see some more Terma heroes getting created. King with 1,100, nearly 1,200 gold in the bank. Going to be sniping even more of these Terma heroes with these speedy Sphinx here. Does he have any upgrades coming through? Not just yet. More Sphinx coming through. I haven't seen a barracks just yet. I haven't seen an armory just yet. When he's going for his town center, wants to grab that one as he is picking off all of these Terma as we do see the second town center on the way for Zoekt here. He's trucking up some more manors. How are the economic upgrades going? We do have Shaft Mine already for Zoekt as these Terma are just simply retreating back to their home base. They don't really have anywhere where they can garrison, though. Kind of want to garrison away from these if you can. He does have the manors he can jump into, but he's just going to try and continuously retreat back. He's going to be right next to this town center, and we do see the Cryo Sphinx will come in. That's going to put these Sphinx up to, I think it's 5.2, 5.5. They go pretty speedy with Cryo Sphinx. I guess we'll see. 6 point, oh, there we go, 5.3, close to 5.2. But there's the town center up for King. He does have these 2 elephant that he can eat from here. We'll see if that's what he's going to do. He's also got these baboons here. There's also a good amount of juicy hunt here. And just continuously making these priests and the Sphinx and just running rampant around in this game. Zoekt now finally throwing down a military barrack. So the other option here, it's less good, but the other option for Gaia against Sphinx is definitely not Terma, but Mermillo, and making Mermillo heroes as we see another counter barracks coming up. But back in 2011, people really like liked Terma. They really, really like Terma. Apparently, my Dutch isn't very good. How do I say it? I mean, Zoekt. Is that okay? Is that better? I don't know. Now I'm self-conscious. Good. Thanks. That's Jolly Man for you guys in the chat. All right. We got Zoekt. Okay, we'll go with Zoekt. Okay, great, fantastic. So we'll see what this plan is for King here. He's still pumping villagers out. Villagers jumping off of the wood line over here, moving over to a different wood line. But more farms coming up as King is probably going to be looking to spam. Oh, he's going for spearmen. I thought he's going for slingers. I thought maybe jumping straight to the Mythic age here, given all of these monuments, and then starting to make Avengers wouldn't be a bad idea. We've got another granary coming up here. King's economic management, very, very crisp and strong. That's what made him so good at this game. We've got slingers coming up at the Terma. Here, the Sphinxes are going to come back. We've got the Hierarcho Sphinx here now to come and clean up. We've got some murderous Harry coming out of the town center to hold on here as Zoekt is getting a lot of good damage coming in here. Now the Sphinx coming in, going to get that damage in. Those specials do. I think it's got to be area of effect damage, right? Yeah, AOE range 3, and it's 200%. No, special attack is 32 hack damage with a 17 hack AOE. So it's a big amount of damage onto all of those other units as well. If you can kind of get in there and get that one done. We've got some more heroes coming in. Now we've got those Hero Murmillo coming in to help out. But at this point, there's so many Sphinx that it's almost like they can just take these down. But we do see one Sphinx has been sniped there by those Terma heroes with the Murmillo heroes in here. It's enough to slow these down a little bit. We do see the Pharaoh coming forward here, walking straight past the Scarapenton and just leaving it there because, I mean, no one knew how good that relic was back in the day, that's for sure. And now King is looking to hit the next age. So many villagers on food, so many villagers on gold, ready to continue in this game. Very, very strong here. Cutting villagers on this town center, or forgetting to build villagers on this town center after the mercenary come out. He might check that a little bit later. There we go. There's the armory coming down a little bit late is what it is. How are the economic upgrades looking? He doesn't have shaft mine. He doesn't have bowsaw, obviously, because it's bad, but no shaft mine is bad. Whereas Zoekt has got his bowsaw, he's got his shaft mine, and he's got... Does he have his plow? He doesn't have his plow, but he'll probably get that one fairly soon, I'm sure. As the goat are almost finished. And we've got priests kind of all over the map, just checking things out. We've got the third town center coming up for Zoekt here. Third town center coming down for King as well. And we've got Thea coming through now. And King is going through Hathor. So Thea versus Hathor here. Surprised to see no... I mean, at this point, with all the units out, I'm surprised to see no Rhea, where you can kind of take a Sphinx away from your opponent. But, like, maybe the birds are going to be enough. How much favor do we have in the bank? Well, 52 favor, so the birds should be a good help. But I feel like King can just kind of play a little bit defensively now and take his way to the next portion here. We do see the counter barracks come out, going to be attempting to deny this town center here. The Carnivora going to be just doing so much damage. I'm not sure this is quite going up, but there's the counter barracks, and this town center should get denied here. It looks like as soon as this starts spreading lush, it does take a hot second for that to happen. There's the lush coming out. Looks like the wrong way though. Hello? Who knows? Apparently, Gaia, just a broken sieve, doesn't function how it's supposed to. But almost denying that town center, but not quite. But there is the heroic age, and at this point, you can kind of do whatever you want here with Ra. You can go for elephants if you really want to. We see a Migdol stronghold going up in the middle of the map. King's got 5 Hierarcho Sphinx. You can start making out Patsukos if he wants. Is going to be very, very strong here. The Stymphalian birds are coming forward. We do also have Caladria, double Caladria here for Zoekt, as he's going to be taking these down. We've got the rock coming into the field here. One snipe there on one Stymphalian bird. The mercenary cavalry pumping out from King here as he's moving forward. We've got those slingers sniping down the Terma in the back, but these the Sphinx have pretty much all been sniped here, as now we've got Dryads coming through, and Zoekt is actually in a half decent position now. All of the Myth units are kind of dead. There's still a couple left, but the other two should fall fairly shortly to the Hero Millers potentially. The Stymphalian Bird in the back should easily snipe these off as well, but he's not really focusing with the Stymphalian Bird that well. Now we've got these villagers coming over here. See the palace, going to take that one down. Do they have Skin of the Rhino? They do not have Skin of the Rhino. We've got the villager going to be attempting to repair this one, but there's not much over here. There is the 2 scouter barracks. We could send some Terma over here, I guess, but that's going to be a little bit slow to get those going. Carnivora coming over onto this location, going to be attempting to help keep this palace up and denying this gold mine, attempting to start some side pushes onto this town center as this game continues. Do we see any sort of Mythic Age? We do not. How are the economic upgrades going? Still no plow from Zoekt, forgetting that one. King, on the other hand, how are his economic upgrades? You do see the Skin of the Rhino. We've got Sharp One, we've got Plow, we've got Hand Axe. All of the strong upgrades for Ra have been researched here, so King's economy going to be very, very good here. Still making those slingers. No, he's switching into Spearman now. So switching into Spearman, gearing up for Hathor. Potentially, I mean, Horus potentially making those Horus Spearmen to deal with these units very, very nicely. The Spearmen do have a bonus against the Terma of 25%. So, not a bad unit there to attempt to take the Terma down, especially because these Terma only have 5 speed. The Spearmen have 5 speed as well, unlike the against Uranus, where the Uranus outspeed your Spearmen. So we're actually not that bad against Gaia and Kronos. For sure. Now, Lumber Camp coming down for King over here. He's wanting a little bit more wood. No markets up just yet for King or for Zoekt, though there is a market on the way here as he wants to start that trade route. Though over on this location seems like the obvious place for it, given he's got villages over here already and it's far away from this town center. But I mean beggars can't be choosers. And we are seeing the Dryads pushing in now, getting sniped. We see Caladra over here taking so much damage as it feels like those projectiles are just in the air for so long before they finally all hit at once. But it's looking as if Zookt's army is strong enough to hold this position here as the Stymphalian Birds do snipe a villager or two. The Patsukots snipes down those units, and Zoekt is going to be retreating. And we do have the Oracle over here will spot these markets, so he's going to know exactly where the trade is and when it is. And now, how are we going on the researching? We've got the fortified town centers for Zoekt coming up, and King is slowly starting to gain control in this map here. Migdol strongholds plentiful in the middle of villages on this gold mine. But look at this game. Not a single wall being produced. 2011, the era of men. Because if you remember that that saying from the AIs, it's something like walls are for children, for keeping children in, not keeping me out. So obviously, if you don't build walls, you're a very masculine figure, according to the AI, at the very least. So I mean, that's a funny sight right there. That is a funny sight. The carnivore taking an entire elephant into it. Hilarity ensues. Stymphalian Birds, Arcus retreating back. Still no destroyers being made just yet for Zoekt. And he is starting his llama caravans here. Do we have that upgrade? We don't have that upgrade. This one here, channels, very, very good. It's only 20%. I think it's only 20% movement speed for the citizen, not for the, I think it might have been buffed later where it gave a bonus to caravans. But I could be wrong. Maybe it gives caravans the entire time. We do see a bunch of destroyers out here for Zoekt now. He's going to be able to put some big pressure onto this location over here. Meanwhile, pushing in onto this spot here. These Stymphalian Birds in the back going to do a lot. Need to get those Arcus to snipe down the priests here. If he snipes those down, these Dryads and the birds in the back going to do tons of damage here. As King looks like he's getting ready to go to the next age. Has a lot of food, a lot of gold in the bank. He's still pumping units out, obviously making those elephants super tanky at this stage of the game against the unupgraded Arcus and Dryad comp that's coming in here. Meanwhile, these destroyers still, they haven't really done all too much. We do see a random fortified town center under attack here from the siege tower, but that'll get picked off fairly simply here as the destroyers probably going to be ready to move forward, take down this siege works, as this game is kind of sitting into that standstill until we get to the Mythic Age. Now King can go Mythic Age here. We'll see if he's going to attempt to do that or just keep making the units. Looks like he's going to just keep making units. So Zoekt, on the other hand, very short on food. Just going to be pumping units. This is kind of the trap that Atlantean players can fall into. This could be partially because the plow is super late, but just too many villages on wood. So the macro here in the heroic age feels like you need more wood than you really do. But what you can do is you can just put some farms close to the wood here and then just constantly swap them back and forth from the farms onto wood if you need that extra boost in wood. But right now he needs all of the food he possibly can, especially because he's making those llama caravans as well. Meanwhile, we've got the destroyers coming in, but only medium destroyers. Not going to be the best. We even see some Axon coming in, immediately repairing this town center. King does not want to be losing that location here at all, as now Zoekt is getting those palaces up in the middle, potentially gearing up to make fanatics here as he goes to the next age. We got the Horus on the way though for King, so we'll see if that's going to be of any use. You could definitely use it on these palaces. Tear this down, get those Avengers coming out, or start getting out some of those upgrades for his for his spearmen and for his axemen. Those are his kind of options. The mercenary are going to be attempting to take down these counter barracks. He probably could have just sent a siege tower over here to make sure that one was dealt with. And we are still seeing Zoekt pushing forward. Still no attempts to wall up the map. These mercenaries moving over here, going to be attempting to take down the palace. Got a couple of those axemen now going after it. The Carnivore are going to be the port of call here, but all of these mercenary will probably fall before the Carnivore goes down. It's going to be actually very close, and the Carnivore dies. Nice play there from King. He's got the Avengers coming in now. Heavy elephants as well, as Zoekt is not going to be having a good time here at all. He does have all of these llama caravans that are going to be helping him out, but they're very, very low effort llama caravans. 35 gold a trip is not what you want to see at all. The Stymphalian bird's going to be wandering in here, starting to take these chariot archers down very, very quickly. Meanwhile, villagers helping out to take down this palace. Wants to grab this location here. How are the economic upgrades? We've got coinage immediately. Do we have flood control immediately? Yes, and sacred cats. So he's gotten all those upgrades in the right order. Not that the order matters, but making sure you get sacred cats after you get irrigation is important. Making sure you get Adzi of wet after you get bowsaw is important as well. Otherwise, they don't do anything. But now King in a decent position here in order to just keep pushing forward. Needs to get those armory upgrades coming through. He does have some decent ones. We do have good armory upgrades for Zoekt as well, though, with those Arcus super strong. The problem here for Zoekt is he's got no pushing power. He's got all these Arcus, which are actually fairly decent against the chariot archers with their 20 range. And the Dryads as well. But now there's also going to be mercenary cavalry spamming in on this location. We've got the Dryad. Oh, sheesh. The Stymphalian bird trade raid coming in. No Pharaoh over here. Normally this wouldn't work because everyone always puts a Pharaoh onto their market here, but that's not the case here for King. I don't know where his Pharaoh is. There it is. Going to be wandering over to deal with those Stymphalian birds. And the chariot archer is going to be still trying to push forward. The mercenary cavalry doing a lot of damage. There is the tornado. Up and to the left is the way it starts. Always want to put it down here. It'll go up and to the left and take down both of these palaces, but it is looking like it'll probably take down at least one palace, maybe the other one here. It's got 4 seconds left. It's going to be very close. Even if it doesn't, he should be able to take it down with an elephant. And there's the palaces all going down. We see some towers coming up for Zoekt now. Over here we see the priest coming forward to clean up these Stymphalian birds, and the trade route spam has begun. Now King can simply send this Pharaoh over onto that market there and get that one sorted. Slight Matrius market here though. It's got a beautiful corner for that one to come in. But I mean, if anything's a Matrius market, this one is for sure. Anyways, we continue. Matrius markets were a thing before Matrius was around. Yes, we are well aware. Oh, the Caladria micro on the top. Absolute hilarity with this unit. 6.0 speed, but it's very simple. This doesn't work as well with over like archers as it does over say trireme, because you can just do this and shift click on all of these archers like this, and they're never gonna go after the Caladria. So you can just shift click and you're completely fine, as opposed to on the triremes where there's just constant micro and it's much harder to make that work there. And we see some more stint birds coming in as Zoekt is trying to stay alive here, but it's looking as if King's economy is getting way too strong here. Still not a single wall being built in this game, though. Love that. And now we see Zoekt hitting the Mythic Age through Hecate. We'll see where he wants to cast that Tartarian Gate. Maybe over here wouldn't be a bad idea in order to take down the trade route, take down this, maybe close to this. And we'll see what he's going to do, though. We do have the skin of the Rhino villages, so King can kind of just pull his villages and be fine here. The Tartarian Gate might not have been the option here. Maybe an implode on this position could have been a lot more helpful, taking out all of the chariot archers and also having access to the Argus to deal with those heavy elephants that are getting built right now. Now we've got the catapult coming onto this location. We've got some red dots searching over here. There's the Tartarian Gate coming in and the Gaia forest around it. So I've talked about this, but what you want to do with the Tartarian Gate is wedge it next to a forest and Gaia forest it. We do see mercenary cavalry spamming out to try and take this one down, but yeah, if you can put it next to a forest with a Gaia forest, it's very tough to do this and to take this location down. So you see the trees trying to spread out, but the villagers helping out a little bit to make sure that that's going to get dealt with here. Lots of damage being done to the villagers, though, but it does look like this will fall fairly shortly here, and the damage not too big at this point. Generally speaking, Tartarian Gate and Hecate fall off as the game goes on. You kind of want to use Tartarian Gate in the 15 to 18 minute mark-ish if you can so help it, because that's when you don't really have the resources to spam mercenary or the villagers to really take it down or all that other stuff. But now the catapult will take down Zookt's town center over here. And he is going to be in such a fantastic position in this game. We see the town center does fall here. Incredible play here from King in order to finish Zoekt off in this final game. Looks like, in this game here, we've got the Tartarian spawns are dealing a little bit of issue, a little bit of damage here. We see more mercenary cavalry coming out, where King probably should be sending his pharaoh, some priests over here. He's got priests everywhere in order to deal with this. Normally, if you're playing like Greek or if you're playing Norse or even Atlantean, you can just make some heroes and it's completely fine. The Greek, you just send over your Mythic Age hero and you can kind of clean up all the Tartarians spawns with just that Mythic Age hero. But as Ra, you send some something else over here. Now we've got some towers coming up on this position. Classic King knows exactly what you want to do. You don't want to go for the town center just yet. Set the towers up. Make sure that your opponent cannot take this position and you'll be fine. We do see some catapulters coming in, trying to deal with these heavy elephants. Catapulters are one of the few units that kind of trade well against an elephant. Elephants are brutally strong but very slow. So that's kind of the weakness of them. They've got 5 populations. So if you have 2 elephants, you can have 5 catapulties going at the elephants, and the 5 catapulties will win, whereas most other units in that similar position... Is it 5 population? Am I right about that? Yeah. And most other units probably won't win that trade there. I'm pretty sure hoplites don't win with 5 hoplites versus 2 elephants at full upgrades. I could be wrong, though. I don't know. Do we see any attempt at a side build here from Zoekt? Normally when you get into these positions where you can't get your 3rd town center back, the only way to get it back or to continue in the game is to hit a nasty side push somewhere. We don't see anything from Zoekt here, so it's looking like this one might be wrapping up here if King can get this up. We do see this watchtower coming through that may get the lush onto this town center here. Do we have the channels? We do have channels up now. Speedy villagers. Let's check out the can I check out these llama caravans? No, they don't get the channels on 1.03. It does work on Extended Edition. I believe it works on Voobly as well. And it doesn't look like the tower clap makes it anyways, but we're not going to find out So Zoekt does tap out. King gets the dub with the wonky, fast, archaic rain, double monument into third monument in the classical age, into Sphinx spam, into everything else. Obviously, I feel like this kind of strategy here probably wouldn't work against a strong Ra player in today's day and age, because they would simply just say, lol, I'm going to go heroic age. You are too slow, too weak. I'm going to get my Stymphalian birds out, defend my villages, and hit a strong mythic age timing in order to get strong value out of my Tartarian gate, and then I will take your third town center and I will win the game that way. But this game doesn't work that way. But I do think it's hilarious how different the game was played back in the day, even 10 years ago. And the game had been out for 10 years, but nobody really walled very hard. Walls were not a big thing back in the day. And obviously they are very, very strong. But we do not see that here. And Zoekt does go down. King, the victor, like I said, when he played on this account, he did have a super high win rate. And if there's anything about the Titans that I've noticed, it's that, like, a lot of the time, even if you are an incredible player, like top of your game, if you're playing against other strong players, you're probably still not even winning 100%. You're probably winning like 70% or 80% of the time, even if you're better than them. And that seems to be the case currently, or either that or they're all very close to skill level, and I don't really know how to judge it. But King does get this game. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.